Ideas Inspired Information Podcast powered by Loke Enterprise. Here's your host, Braxton Holly.
Welcome to Ideas Inspired Inspiration. I'm your host, Braxton Holly, and this is your Friday Fitness Fix. I'm live with your boy DJ Joe Fitness and a load of other aliases. He's a real live fitness freak, you know. So DJ, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Episode 1. I'm excited to be here. Let's make it happen.
That's good. That's good. So on your Friday Fitness Fix, what do you have for us this week?
Well, so I'm all about longevity, quality of life. How well are you going to live on into those senior years? You know what I mean?
Right,
So
yes.
today we're going to talk about flexibility and mobility, which are two completely different things, but they sound very similar.
So flexibility and mobility. Let's start with flexibility. What are like the most important muscles to keep flexible in your body going into the future? Is it like your back, your legs, your what is it actually?
All right, so flexibility in essence is how well you can stretch a muscle. You know what I mean? So how well will a muscle move, or when you're trying to do some sort of strenuous activity that you're not used to, how well is that muscle going to handle it, so to speak? So in my opinion, core, back, #1 priority, always take care of that core, always take care of that back, because of course you see those senior citizens who are here hunched over. That's because their core is weak. You know, you got to keep that core strong, and if your core is not strong, your back will definitely be affected. So you got to keep that stuff loose and strong.
Okay. So not to jump too far into mobility and flexibility yet, but DJ, give them your credentials. Tell them who you are. Tell them why it's important that what you're saying is real and you just not some guy that's coming up with some stuff.
So why they need to listen to me?
Exactly.
Okay, so you need to listen to me is because I know what I'm talking about. All right, no plug. All jokes aside. So like you said, Joe Fitness is my business. Just out of excuses is what it stands for. I'm a UAB grad. 2016 is when I finished with my kinesiology degree. Exercise science, just a fancy name for saying that. And I'm also a certified personal trainer, aspiring physical therapist. So the reason being mobility and flexibility is my #1 thing to focus on, so to speak, is because that's pretty much what therapists focus on. I act like a trainer, but I think like a therapist.
So that's best of both worlds. So basically, you can make a bodybuilder into a super extreme bodybuilder.
I can take them to the next level. Exactly.
That's good to know. Thank you for telling us why listening to you is essential. Well,
I'm gonna tell anybody who willing to listen, man.
Exactly. And we're gonna give it to you even if you listen or not.
There
so
you go.
give me a short snippet on mobility.
Mobility is more so how well a joint moves in its natural range of motion. So let's just say a shoulder, for example. This is good mobility. I can do all this right here. I'm straight, but not a lot of people can. Joe Biden. No, I'm sorry, not Joe Biden. Not Joe Biden. Old Republican. He ran with Bush. John McCain.
Okay.
Old POW, prisoner of war. Back in the day, he can't get way up here because he has terrible mobility in that shoulder. Which he has some other stuff going on, but that's just an example I want to use. So, mobility essentially is how well you can move that shoulder, that knee, that hip, that back, whatever, in its natural range of motion.
Cool. So, if you tie both of those in together, you got your flexibility and your mobility. You put them together, and what do you get?
Well, you get so your body is conjoined all different places, right? So you need to be flexible in most points and mobile in other points so that you can get a full range of motion, so to speak, in that particular joint. And so that, of course, you don't have any pain or any kind of detrimental effects to your body. You know what I mean?
Okay. That makes total sense. So, for example, we're sitting on stools, and it's easy to get out of posture on a stool because after a while you just start hunching forward. I don't know anybody that leans back on a stool. You probably fall off.
Yeah,
but you start leaning forward. Is that a lack of What is that a lack of? I don't even know how to ask
Well,
you.
not necessarily a lack. It's just we kind of need to be mindful of what our body's doing, especially when we're in a particular spot for a long time. So me and you are going to sit here for maybe about an hour or so, and usually, you know, we're young, you know, that probably wouldn't bother us, but someone who has had back issues or someone who has, you know, a little bit older in age probably couldn't do that. And the reason why you're slouching like this is because, one, it's comfortable because you've been doing it forever, and two, it's because your core is not strong, and, you know, you just need to work on it.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? So we go through life, like, say you sit at a desk all day and you're in front of that computer. The first thing they tell you is to get that screen up to eye level. Get your keyboard right here up to, I guess, wrist level, forearm level, and make sure that back is erect and straight the whole time. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Because in this position, you have segments. So let's say this is one segment in your vertebrae. Here's another segment in your vertebrae.
Okay.
And now you're in a bent position. And you're like this forever.
So
you're like this.
That weakens the vertebrae, huh?
It's going to weaken the muscles around the vertebrae. It's going to make the muscles on this side of the vertebrae tighten, and the muscles on this side of the vertebrae weaken. So now you have your core on this side is weak, and your back on this side is tight. So you're angry back here, and you're weak back here, and you can't move the way you want to.
Understood.
See what I'm saying?
That makes complete sense. I would not have known that without a kinesiology degree. So that's why I'm sitting here and you're sitting there, right?
I mean, hey.
So if we really break it down, and it comes to people that have strong backs and weak cores, or a strong core, well, I don't think you can have a strong core without a strong back. That's kind of weird. Like,
of course. A lot of people think core is abs, sit back, plow, 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 plow. You know, everything, you know, mainstream and all that. Everybody focus on the looks. You know what I mean? I tell my clients, you are absolutely perfect the way you are right now. It's all about how you feel, and if you feel good about yourself. You know, how you feel versus like physically, and then how you feel mentally. Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? If not, it's time to make a change.
Exactly.
If you're hurting and you don't like to hurt, like most people don't, you know, it's time to make a change.
Makes sense. So that's what I see a lot of times, and people don't really. People want to make a change. People might not feel good in the situation they're in or the way their body moves, but it's something that they need to do to get there, but they don't use that time because it's uncomfortable. People, you know, you want to do what's comfortable, what feels good to you. What's something that you say would help for those that have problems trying to jump out of that comfort zone and do something to feel better?
Well, first off, I would definitely say do your research. Make sure what you're doing is actually going to help you rather than hinder you, because me having a kinesiology degree gives me a better understanding of how the body works, but it does not tell me how to fix it, so to speak, when it comes to being a therapist, which is why I want to be a therapist, because I want to know how to fix it. So make sure you're doing your research. You would never want to overstretch or overwork a particular muscle and make yourself worse and put you in a worse predicament than you already are. So come to a fitness professional like myself. We'll do an assessment on you and kind of figure things out. And if that's not the most practical thing for you, whether it be monetarily wise or whatever, then do your research. Hit YouTube, type in back pain, and just do your research. You know, if your back hurts, try some stretches here and there, very light starting off, and then you can kind of go from there, you know?
Yeah, great. You got anything else to add to the flexibility and mobility?
No, nothing else to add, but I do want to add something as far as the motivational goes.
Okay.
So if you're hurting, obviously you need help. You need to do your research. You need to figure it out. The worst thing you could do is ignore it. I'm a culprit. You're a culprit. She's a culprit. We've all done it. We ignore it, and we just think it's going to go away. And it may go away, but on down the line, what's that famous song? Your leg bone is connected to your knee bone, connected to your leg bone, connected to your hip bone. So it's all going to affect everything. So you need to take care of that ankle before you have to take care of your knee, your hip, and then your back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So get it taken care of first. I don't care how old you are. It's going to come back on you.
Well, DJ, so what is the sneak peek for next week's Fitness Fix Friday?
So we talked about mobility. We talked about flexibility. Next, we're going to talk about how you actually get out there and motivate yourself to getting out and making that change. You know, because you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right people in your corner, so to speak. And even if that's just yourself, you can be your own cheerleader. And you basically have to be.
Yeah.
You know? So next, we're going to talk about how do you take that next step. You found the problem, or you know what the problem is. You know what you need to do. How do you actually make it happen?
Exactly. Well, DJ, glad to have you on Ideas Inspire Information. This is your Friday Fitness Fix. And with Joe Fitness, you'll see me and him every Friday trying to break down what you need to do and what you can do to improve yourself and to be your best self.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And of course, if you guys ever have any questions, let us know. I'm on Instagram at Joe Fitness and Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And of course, hit us up on this page. We want as many eyes as possible.
And that is your Friday Fitness Fix on Ideas Inspire Information. I'm your host, Braxton Holly, and this is your boy, Joe Fitness. Hit us up. Let us know what you need help with. We'll take in comments, callers. If you got any questions, we'll take them, we'll answer them, and we'll give it to you the right way.
See you next week.
See you next week.